Welcome back to our channel on this absolutely gorgeous Thursday where the sun is shining, but the storm clouds are definitely gathering over Los Angeles because the fallout from the Logan Fashion Show is just getting started. And we have so much to unpack today about these families. Brooke Logan Forrester is completely losing her mind right now, and you can almost feel the heat radiating off the screen because she absolutely refuses to let Hope Logan Spencer's shocking career move go without consequences, which is just so typical of Brooke when you really think about it, because she has spent her entire life orchestrating everything for everyone around her. And now that her own daughter has actually stepped out of line and made a massive independent business decision, Brooke is malfunctioning on a fundamental level. She just cannot process it at all. It does not compute in her brain that Hope would willingly choose Katie over her. She is pacing around and fuming and plotting her next move like a general going to war, but she is completely ignoring the fact that Hope is a grown woman who signed a legally binding contract. What exactly does Brooke think she can do here to stop this train? Is she going to march into Logan and physically drag Hope out by the ear while the fashion press watches and records the whole thing on their phone? Probably. She is just that unhinged right now. And this brings us right to the absolute powder keg that is the relationship between Brooke and Katie Logan Spencer, because Brooke is confronting Katie with a level of venom that we have not seen in years. And she is blaming Katie for bringing Hope to Logan as if Katie somehow kidnapped Hope and forced her to design dresses against her will in some dark basement. Brooke's anger just continues to build and build with every second that Katie refuses to back down and apologize. Katie is standing there looking so triumphant and so validated because she finally has the upper hand against her older sister, who has overshadowed her for her entire life. Katie is looking Brooke right in the eye and warning her that her attacks could have lasting consequences, and that is the absolute truth. Katie believes that if Brooke keeps pushing and screaming and demanding that Hope return to Forrester Creations, she is going to risk driving Hope away for good. Brooke is literally pushing her daughter right into Katie's waiting arms. It is a psychological masterclass. Brooke is not accepting that staying at Logan is Hope's decision because Brooke has this twisted narrative in her head where Hope is just a naive little girl who got manipulated by the big bad Spencers and her scheming aunt who just wants to steal Forrester talent. Brooke is being completely unreasonable, and her quest for revenge may only deepen the divide between her and Hope because she is invalidating Hope's entire agency and talent as a creative force in this industry. Hope created a smash hit collection from scratch. Hope walked down that runway wearing the Hope for the Future diamond, and she looked like an absolute superstar. But Brooke cannot see past her own bruised ego to realize that her daughter just achieved something monumental. Brooke thinks this is all about her. She thinks Katie did this to hurt her, and she thinks Hope did this to rebel against her. But it is just business. It is just fashion. Brooke needs to wake up and smell the couture before she loses the one person she claims to love more than anyone else in the world. She is acting like a dictator. Nobody wants to be treated like a child. Meanwhile, we have Hope, who is still technically celebrating the massive, unprecedented success of her new fashion line, but the personal cost continues to mount. And you can see the heavy emotional toll it is taking on her face in every single scene. She is putting on a brave smile for the cameras and for Katie and for Bill, but behind closed doors, she is sobbing to Liam because Brooke's absolute refusal to accept her decision leaves Hope questioning whether their relationship ever recover from this massive betrayal. Hope fears she has lost her mother forever. That is a terrifying thought for someone who has spent her whole life trying to be the perfect daughter and trying to please Brooke at every turn, even when it meant sacrificing her own happiness. Hope finally did something for herself for once in her life. She finally stepped out of the shadow of Forrester Creations, where Steffi was constantly holding her line hostage and treating her like a second-class citizen. Hope took a massive leap of faith to build something new. And what does she get for it? Her mother screaming at her and threatening to kick her off the property. It is devastating. As Brooke's anger grows more and more unreasonable, Hope just might have no choice but to distance herself from her mother to protect her future, because you cannot build a successful brand when your own mother is actively trying to sabotage it and tear you down emotionally every time you walk into a room. Hope is going to have to build a massive brick wall around herself to survive this. She has Liam there to support her, and she has Katie, who is riding high on her own success as the CEO. But Brooke is a force of nature, and she will not stop until she gets her way. Brooke is not going to accept that Hope wants to be at Logan. Brooke is going to keep showing up and causing scenes and making demands until Hope finally snaps and tells her to get out of her life permanently. Can you imagine the sheer drama if Hope actually files a restraining order against Brooke to keep her away from the Logan offices? I know that sounds extreme, but we are entering uncharted territory here, and Brooke is acting completely unhinged. She is a woman scorned, and she is directing all that fury at her own flesh and blood. And while all the Logan women are tearing each other apart, we have Bill Spencer, who is just sitting back and watching the chaos unfold with that signature smug grin on his face, because he orchestrated this entire thing. And now he is turning his attention to Will Spencer following the fallout from Logan's successful fashion launch. Bill knows that this war is not just about the older generation fighting over dresses and press coverage. It is bleeding down to the kids, and Will is right in the crosshairs of this massive corporate battle. Tensions are running incredibly high between Will and Elektra Forrester right now, and Bill sees this as the perfect opportunity to mold Will into a true ruthless Spencer who puts the company above all else. Bill is probably telling Will to forget about the Forrester girl and focus on the family empire, because that is what Bill does best. He isolates his sons and makes them dependent on him and the Spencer legacy. Will is so vulnerable right now. He just got fired from Forrester, and he is feeling completely alienated, and Bill is swooping in to play the supportive father while secretly pulling all the strings. Will may find himself forced to choose between protecting family business secrets and saving his relationship, which is honestly a terrible position for a young guy to be in, because he genuinely loves Elektra, but he also wants to prove himself to his father and to Katie. Will knew about Hope joining Logan for weeks. He knew about the diamond being secured by Wyatt. He kept his mouth shut because he is loyal to his parents, but that loyalty is costing him the woman he loves. Elektra is furious. She is absolutely freezing him out, and you cannot really blame her, because she feels completely betrayed by the person she trusted most in the world. She thought Will was her partner, and instead he was acting as a spy for the enemy camp right under her nose. Will is trying to explain himself to her. He is trying to say it was just business and he was sworn to secrecy by the CEO. But when has the phrase, "it is just business," ever saved a relationship on a soap opera? Never. It always makes things worse. Will is drowning in this corporate warfare, and he doesn't know how to swim. Elektra is not pleased that Logan now has a jewelry line, which is just adding insult to injury, because the Forresters pride themselves on being the absolute pinnacle of fashion and accessories. And now this upstart company run by Katie and Bill is suddenly encroaching on all their territory. Elektra feels like her family's legacy is under attack, and she is taking it very personally. She is looking at Will and seeing the enemy standing right in front of her. She is seeing the Spencer greed that RJ has been warning her about this whole time. Elektra is also angry that they have the HFTF diamond, because that diamond is an iconic piece of fashion history, and it belongs in a Forrester show, not around the neck of a Logan defector on a Spencer-funded runway. The diamond is a symbol of everything the Spencers have stolen from the Forresters in Elektra's eyes. It is a massive slap in the face. And of course, RJ Forrester is just waiting in the wings to take full advantage of this entire situation, because he has been trying to get Will out of the picture for months. RJ is going to use Elektra's anger over the jewelry line and the diamond to completely poison her mind against Will. RJ is going to tell her that Will is just a manipulative Spencer who will always put his family's shady business deals ahead of her feelings. RJ is playing the long game here. He is consoling Elektra and acting like the supportive best friend, but he is actively trying to steal her away while she is vulnerable. And with Will being so distracted by Bill's demands and the pressure of working at Logan, RJ has a clear path to Elektra's heart. It is a messy love quadrangle just waiting to explode because we all know Dylan is waiting to comfort Will the second Elektra officially dumps him. The younger generation is just as messy as their parents, maybe even messier. What's next for all of these characters? Because the rivalry between the Forresters and Logans will only intensify from here on out. This is no longer just a friendly competition between two fashion houses trying to sell dresses. This is a blood feud with Brooke refusing to back down and Katie standing firmly behind Hope. The battle lines have officially been drawn and nobody is safe from the crossfire. Ridge is caught right in the middle of this because he loves Brooke, but he also has to protect Forrester Creations. And Steffi is already demanding that he take action against Logan. Steffi wants revenge. She wants to crush Hope and Katie and Bill, and she is not going to let this go without a massive fight. Steffi is probably already meeting with Carter to figure out a way to sue Logan or steal Hope back or destroy their supply chain. Steffi is ruthless when she feels threatened, and right now she feels like her entire family legacy is being mocked on a global stage. I really need to talk more about Brooke's mental state right now because it is fascinating and terrifying all at once. Brooke has always been the heroine of her own story in her mind. She always believes she is on the side of the angels, even when she is doing something completely destructive to the people around her. She justifies everything. But right now, she cannot justify Hope's actions, so she is blaming Katie and Bill for brainwashing her daughter. She is projecting all of her insecurities onto her sister. Brooke cannot handle the idea that Hope might actually be better off without her constant guidance and meddling. Brooke's entire identity is wrapped up in being the matriarch of the Logan family and being the guiding light for her children. If Hope doesn't need her anymore, who is Brooke? She is just a woman living in a big empty house with a husband who is constantly distracted by his own family's drama. Brooke is terrified of becoming irrelevant. That is why she is fighting so hard. She is fighting for her own sense of purpose. Katie, on the other hand, has evolved so much over the years, and this storyline is really showcasing her strength and her business acumen. She used to be the sister who cried and had heart attacks and let everyone walk all over her while Brooke took center stage. Not anymore. Katie is a powerhouse. She is running a massive company. She is standing up to Brooke without flinching. She is managing Bill Spencer, which is a full-time job, and Katie is looking at Brooke and seeing a woman who is stuck in the past. Katie is the future. She is building an empire and she is taking Hope along for the ride. Katie's warning to Brooke wasn't just a threat, it was a genuine observation from someone who understands human psychology. Katie knows Hope. She knows that Hope is fragile, but she also knows that Hope has a spine of steel when she is pushed too far by the people she loves. Katie is trying to save Brooke from herself, but Brooke is too blind with rage to see it. And what about Liam in all of this? Because he is usually the one waffling and causing problems, but right now he is actually being a supportive husband for one. Liam is standing by Hope. He is holding her hand while she cries over Brooke, and he is defending her choices. But you have to wonder how long Liam can handle this level of intense family drama before he starts to crack under the pressure. Liam hates conflict. He hates when people are mad at him. Right now, Brooke is furious with him because he helped facilitate this whole Logan deal in the first place. Brooke is literally kicking them off her property. Liam is going to have to find them a new place to live while also managing the PR fallout from the fashion show and dealing with Steffi's inevitable wrath because Steffi is going to blame him too. Liam is going to be pulled in a million different directions. Will he stay strong for Hope, or will he start to suggest that maybe she should just apologize to Brooke to keep the peace? Liam is a wild card in this situation. Let's circle back to Bill and Will because this father-son dynamic is getting really dark and twisted. Bill is using Will's heartbreak over Elektra to manipulate him into becoming a corporate soldier. Bill is basically telling Will that love is a weakness and that business is the only thing that matters in this world. Bill wants Will to embrace the Spencer cutthroat mentality and leave his morals at the door. Bill is probably thrilled that Elektra is mad about the jewelry line and the diamond because it drives a massive wedge between Will and the Forresters. Bill hates the Forresters. He wants to destroy them. And he wants his sons by his side when he does it. Will is so young and impressionable. He is hurting. He is looking for guidance. And Bill is feeding him this toxic narrative about power and loyalty. Will is going to turn into a mini dollar bill if he isn't careful. He is going to lose his empathy and his compassion. Elektra's anger is justified to a point, but she is also being incredibly hypocritical, if we are being totally honest. She is mad at Will for keeping secrets, but she has been keeping secrets of her own. She has been getting way too close to RJ. She has been letting RJ badmouth Will, and she hasn't stopped him. Elektra is acting like she is the innocent victim in all of this, but she is playing games she is using the jewelry line and the diamond as an excuse to push Will away because she is confused about her feelings for RJ and she doesn't want to admit it. Elektra needs to take a hard look in the mirror. She is a Forrester now and she is acting exactly like them. Entitled, righteous, quick to judge. She is punishing Will for something his father did. Will didn't steal the diamond. Will didn't launch the jewelry line. He is just an employee doing what he is told. But Elektra is lumping him in with Bill and Katie, and that is not fair at all. The HFTF diamond is such a massive plot device right now, and it is driving everyone crazy. It is a symbol of everything that is wrong between these two families. Wyatt brought it to Bill. Bill used it to humiliate Forrester Creations. Hope wore it like a badge of honor on the runway. And now Elektra is obsessing over it. That diamond is cursed. It brings out the worst in everyone who touches it. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to steal it again just to prove a point. Maybe Steffi hires someone to break into Logan and take it back to restore Forrester's honor. Steffi is crazy enough to do something like that right now. She is so desperate for a win against the Logans. The diamond is going to be the center of this corporate war for months to come. It is glittering and beautiful and absolutely toxic to everyone involved. And the jewelry line at Logan is a direct threat to Forrester's bottom line. Forrester has always dominated the accessories market and they rely on that income. Now Logan is stepping on their toes and taking their customers. Elektra knows this. She knows that Logan is coming for their market share. This isn't just about dresses anymore. This is about total fashion domination. Bill is funding this massive expansion, and he will not stop until Logan is the #1 fashion house in the world. Forrester is scrambling to keep up. They are relying on Eric's couture line to save them, but Eric is distracted by his marital problems with Donna. Donna kept Hope secret. Eric feels betrayed. The Forrester patriarch is crumbling under the weight of his own family's lies. How can Forrester fight back when they are falling apart from the inside?